I always get asked how I edit my makeup for pictures, and I don't. I just have a really good base routine, so let me show you how I get it by design. After the skincare I do in the morning, I like to rehydrate my face with a facial spray. I really like this one from Tatcha, and I follow up with a light moisturizer. For this look, I'm only using brow gel, and then I'm going to go in with the Milk Hydro Grip Primer because I want this to last all day. I like a very skin-like finish, so I'm going in with this medium coverage foundation from Haus Labs. Ideally, you want the shade match to be about one shade darker than your skin tone. I use a deep shade of the Danessa Maya Exploring Balm as a bronzer, and because I'm taking pictures, I want it to be really defined. Then I'm going to go in with my first layer of blush on the high point of my cheek. This is the Armani Luminous Silk. I'm using a dense brush to pack all of this in and let it still look very pigmented. The key to a good bright under eye is doing a dark layer of concealer first. That is going to prevent it from looking ashy or gray. I'm using this concealer from NARS in the shade Deep Cool Zero. Blending this out with a beauty blender, I don't want it to be too defined. Next, I'm going in with a lighter shade of concealer. This is the one from Too Faced in the shade Caramel. If you really want that glam look in pictures, you need to make sure you're not over blending your concealer. I used to have a really bad habit of this, and I like to use a wet powder puff to do this. I focus on blending the edges and then lightly blend the inner corner. And then I'm going to go in with another layer of blush because I've noticed blush really doesn't pick up in photos. Before you go in with any powders, you should like the way your makeup looks when it's blended. And then I'm going to follow up with a pressed powder and a loose powder. When I want my under eyes to be very bright, I like to go in and bake just a little bit. And then I'm going to go in with a face powder. You can use a powder foundation or a pressed powder, followed by my powder bronzer and then some powder blush on top. Instead of dusting off my bake, I'm actually going to use the powder puff to brush it in to give me more of that airbrush look, and this is the finished result.